Hey, you guys, and welcome to the Steele Wars Hyperchat. It is Wednesday. I don't know what day. It's the 16th of September. I don't know why a window just opened and started playing the YouTube I was watching, but at least I get an extra view out of it. And that's the sort of professional advice my guest has been giving me all through my burgeoning YouTube career. Is that how you do it? Welcome to the Hyper Chat. Alex Damon of Star Wars Explained. How you doing, buddy?
Yeah, that's exactly how you do it. I actually don't have any fans at all. Like, I just made 600,000 accounts, and I just subscribe to myself over and over. And I talk to myself every single day. I don't know why you haven't done that yet.
It does feel like I'm talking to myself every single day, actually. This is just to keep me just a little bit sane. Hey, we are trying a new deal, a new format. I've been talking to Max Palace and Noah Outlaw. They've been really cool in helping me out with advice on how to get a new, sharper image. We'll be able to go to things easier. And it's just the way of the Force, the will of the Force, Alex, that a true pro is here to watch me stumble through it.
I can feel it. Today's going to be the day where you're not going to have any technical difficulties.
Really? The first day?
It's going to be fine.
Okay. And it should also, we might be getting some new viewers because I think this is streaming on Twitter and on Facebook as well. So someone actually did comment from Facebook just then. So it works. Welcome, Charlie Smith. You are truly our first Facebook live stream viewer. So yeah, if you're enjoying it, hit like and, smash, bash, crash. Just, I don't know. Alex, can you spend
You want to smash that like button.
Hey, how about using some of your fake accounts to old mate Steele? Get him up in the rankings a little bit.
Well, we can talk about payment afterwards and what I charge for every single account. Like Braxton T in the chat he's admitting that he is Alex. So I'll let you know how much
it's like a Spartacus like deal.
Uh-huh.
I am that is actually that happens on YouTube. A few people in their descriptions like to say, "I am Star Wars Explained." Oh no, I'm not Star Wars. I'm explaining. I'm not. I'm doing what he is. I don't know. I'm not gonna put you in that position. How
I worry about.
I'll add that to the list of things I shouldn't have to not worry about. Anyway, I just want to talk about with how smoothly this is going thus far with the streaming. I'm so happy. This is fantastic. Now, Mandalorian trailer, Alex. I know you've seen it. I watched yesterday. You woke up early for no reason, which is just painful. It sounds like you're just preparing yourself to have children, waking up early for no reason. But I've been up since 4:30, hence I mentioned that. But what's your overall vibe, buddy?
I liked it. I mean, like, there wasn't much for me to form any strong opinion on either way. Like, I was excited to just see the Mandalorian and the child in these new environments and go like, yeah, what are these places? What are we going to see? I like that they didn't give anything away. On the flip side of that, it means like, I don't really know what to say about it, but I would prefer they keep it kind of in the dark. I'd rather us all be surprised.
Yeah, I sort of liked how Hickle of ILM was, he was sort of patting himself on the back, which is fair enough. He deserves a pat about how good a trailer is that gets you excited without telling you what's going on. And I feel like they did a good job of that. But, Alex, on today's episode, that's not going to stop us from just guessing.
Just going nuts.
Guessing maybe what we hope or would like is happening. But before that, I just wanted to there's a bit of Star Wars salacious rumors going around. I'm not sure if you're across this, but Pedro Pascal apparently very unhappy that he has to wear the Mandalorian suit, and he's threatening to walk off, or he's walked off, and all this drama. Now, I don't know. The only Lucasfilm Star Wars insider I know is Noah Outlaw. So, and, dubious at best. And I just get a bit competitive with him because we've got the same like 90s hair flop, and I feel like he's it's lusher in his young age.
He's trying to be the new Steele, yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't. The old Steele, it didn't go down well, not at all. But yeah, I'm not talking to these people that these journalists are, or these pundits, I think they call them. But I like to look at things just logically. So the story is that Pedro was being a real prima donna or something because the suit was uncomfortable to wear, and he wanted to have his face on, like featured more in the story and stuff like that. Now, logically, we all know, and we were, maybe a little bit disappointed to learn that Pedro Pascal was in the armor, what 2 times? One
maybe
time?
I mean, there's one scene.
Yeah, and it was sort of like they had those stuntmen that were sort of, they're doing their sort of body acting. I think it's like John Wayne's son or grandson or something. Is it son or grandson?
I can't remember.
Son of Wayne. Let's hope. But so why would he complain? Why would he want to wear the suit? Say, hey, I want to be the one in the suit. Even though other people can wear the suit, it's proven. Then when he gets the suit on, it's uncomfortable. And then like, hey, I'm going. This suit's too uncomfortable. Hey, Pedro Pascal, who, in real life seems like a very just normal,
easygoing guy.
Yeah. Hey, why don't you just get John Wayne's son or grandson to wear the suit? No, I'm off. I'm gonna tell a few people, they're gonna leak it. And we'll just leave it there. That's my reasonable days are over. So I just think that's maybe it's rooted in he would have liked, or his face is going to be in it more or something like that. But I think the prima donna sort of this suit.
I don't see it. And I mean, like I could understand. I'm honestly a little surprised that the whole like the helmet stays on is a Mandalorian thing. It's kind of a weird surprise in the Star Wars galaxy since we've seen so many Mandalorians with their helmets off. But then the fact that it's like you did cast Pedro Pascal. He's a big enough name, I think, that you'd want his face in it. So it is surprising to me in a sense, but I certainly don't see him pitching a fit about it.
No.
If this is the story, it's not like he signed up not knowing that was the story.
Yeah, it's like now it's popular. Like, did Nancy Cartwright start saying, hey, can you put my face on top of Bart Simpson now that it's popular, now that I know? Is that a current reference? Is that even a metaphor that works? Probably not. But yeah, I don't know about that. I think we'll be fine. But let's do some pausing.
Okay.
Let's do some guessing. I am getting nervous because we're going to go over to a bit of screen sharing action.
You can do it.
Thanks, buddy. You're the best.
Make sure you don't have any embarrassing tabs open.
That's a good... I don't have embarrassing tabs. I hope not. Bang. I don't want to go auto. I want to keep it on 1080p. All right. How about that? I wonder if music will come through on this. Who knows?
It should. Or maybe it doesn't.
I've got it at my end.
Yeah, I don't hear it.
Right there, I'll pause it. No, that's not going to give me the option. hide. Anyway, we know what it looks like or sounds like, don't we?
Yeah.
I think. Just doing some jigging there. That's probably the best option. Now, so let's just make up what's going on. Someone just commented where Suarez22 on the YouTube chat. I love that he had a tab open where he Googled Star Wars. That's my opening page on all my web browsers. So when it opens, it goes to Google Star Wars news. That way, Surex22, I can keep my finger on the pulse. What the common man, what Johnny website clicker is reading in the world of Star Wars. Susie social media. I want to know what she's reading in Star Wars. But let's go to this image. We've got the Razor Crest. It's open. It's floating towards a very Earth-like alive planet. Now, first of all, let's pray. Let us pray. This is not an X-Wing inflicted bit of damage. What you call there, Alex?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm gonna guess that most of what we saw in this trailer is from earlier in the season. I think I can't remember how the first trailers went for season 1, but I think a large part of it is probably going to stay secret, and this is probably all from like the first maybe 3 episodes. I do want to hope. Yeah, I agree. I hope it's not X-Wing damage. I hope that the Razor Crest doesn't fall under attack. But when we get to the X-Wing shot, I have some thoughts on it. But I don't know. I want to hope that the New Republic wouldn't attack the Mandalorian.
Nor would I. It's interesting. It's like, it reminds me of Attack of the Clones, where in the lead up, I thought the clones were going to be bad guys. And then they got there and then they were good guys. Then they turned out to be bad guys.
Right.
So I see X-Wings and I'm like, yes, the cavalry. But if, they're down on the bounty hunting, it's no bias. But we'll talk about the X-Wing in a little bit. Now, I'm just trying to put together what's happening possibly in these episodes. The 2 planets. Are you going with this is the maybe Mon Cal planet? Or
It does look watery.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like an ice planet. It doesn't look like whatever that rundown like kind of city planet was. That looked more deserty, arid. I also thought of Sorgan, but I don't want them to like just keep revisiting planets from season 1 over and over.
One's enough, or possibly 2.
2.
Yeah. And on that water planet, Din had Baby Yoda with him, Yoda, if you will. Okay. Because later on, you know how they're on. There's a shot and they're like on a Star Destroyer.
Mm-hmm.
And in Entertainment Weekly, we saw that photo and it looked like we had the trio like coming out of an elevator on a Star Destroyer. Would that be your interpretation of that photo?
I kind of forgot about that photo and I'm going to go look at it right now. Yeah, that definitely looks Imperial in design. Molly said the same thing, that shot, it does feel like the inside of a Star Destroyer or something. I, for some reason, jumped straight into it's inside an Imperial base, just because it was surrounded by, in the trailer, the shots of the TIE fighters and the shots of the speeder bikes like exiting a base. So I don't know why I figured that was just an Imperial base somewhere, probably on Navarro, but the tilt of the camera also gives it kind of this spacey feel.
Because if those 3 are going into a Star Destroyer or an Imperial base, what would drive them to do that? And could that be a captured Baby Yoda, Yoju, if you will? So I was sort of putting that together. Like, these are all just bizarre tangents, but putting that together with this is after the Razor Crest is attacked and Din's in there by himself, Yoju-less. But if that's the maybe Moncal planet, then that doesn't sort of tie in with that chronologically.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think Din's going to have a lot more enemies than just the Imperials. I mean, we see him surrounded in that gladiatorial ring later on. I think there are probably going to be plenty of other members of the Scum and Villainy faction trying to cash in on this, and maybe more than just them. I just love the damage of the ship, though, and like the fact that the door isn't even closed. It's just
yes, I like the way, and when I watched it back on the watching the reaction, I first get excited it's the Razor Crest, and then I'm like, oh no. Like once you realize that the hatch is open and there's stuff coming out everywhere. So then we've got Din and Baby Yoda, Yoju, if you will, on the Graffiti Planet, as it's being called. And we're seeing a lot of sort of highlighted images. People are getting into Photoshop, bringing it up, and they're saying it's reminiscent of the Star Wars galaxy's very own Banksy, Sabine Wren. And that possibly this could be a Lothal. Where do you stand on that one?
Ooh, I really hope not. I mean, the last time we saw Lothal in Star Wars Rebels, it looked a lot better. Like, the whole point of Lothal was that the Empire was there and it was kind of run down. But the second they ran the Empire off, the planet, like, kind of regained what it was meant to be. And it was this more idealistic version of itself. I would hate to see it fall back into ruin. So I don't think that's Lothal. That graffiti doesn't give me a Sabine art style vibe. That just looked like messy graffiti. Also, the closer I looked at it, it looked kind of hateful. Like, you can see pictures of like an Aqualish with an X over it. Like, it just looks like everyone's angry with everyone else in this planet.
Interesting.
You can see it better later on in that that shot with the lamppost and the guy hanging from it. There's like a flash of light and you can kind of see the graffiti a little better.
Okay, because in the Star Wars canon, the Moncal and the Aqualish, they're enemies, yeah. They sort of they don't get along, but they share the same planet. Or am I?
That's the Corrin.
Corrin, okay.
Aqualish or Ponda Baba.
Oh, sorry. That's an odd name then, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Should be Sandalish, because he's around sand. Anyway. So back to Tatooine. Now, this is obvious where it's going. Din has, he knows he's in over his head, right? This mission it's going to be tough. And so when the going gets tough, you call in the big guns. So he is heading back to Tatooine to meet up with a healing Toro Calican, who's going to join him on his next quest. Where do you stand on that one, Alex?
I can't tell. I was going to tell you, if this is a joke bit, it's a slippery slope, because most people's obsessions, like Biggs and Veer's Watch and Zuvio, they all started as kind of joke things that turn real. So I'm just warning you that you might actually be a Toro Calican stan before too long.
Dude, there's none of this, none of that needed. Don't make me listen. Hey, I got a lot of options on this new thing. Don't make me bust out the Toro watch graphic. All right. So that's I don't have a Toro watch for today, but I'm not afraid to bust it out whenever he's mentioned. Did you enjoy the pun of that?
Toro watch?
Yeah, it's great. Big day at the office when I came up with that one. Trust me. So I'm not sure why he's heading back to Tatooine, but do you think this will answer, it has to, the mystery of the boots at the end of episode 5, The Gunslinger, starring Toro Calican.
I think it could. I kind of like this idea that, so there's rumors swirling around that Cobb Vanth is going to be in the series, which will blow my mind if that's true.
Hey, Star Wars, please explain who that is.
Sure. In the Aftermath trilogy of books, Boba Fett's armor, and only his armor, is recovered from the Sarlacc pit. It would presumably mean that Boba Fett is still alive as well, but Jawas get the armor, and a man named Cobb Vanth buys said armor and starts to wear it, and he becomes like the sheriff of this town, which is made up of former slaves and stuff. He calls it Freetown, I believe. And he starts to use the armor to do good. I kind of like the idea that maybe a bounty is put on Boba Fett for some reason, and Din needs some money. He heads to Tatooine to track down Boba Fett, realizes it's not Boba Fett. I think there would be a lot there to kind of explore what it means to be a Mandalorian, because Din is so invested in his armor and the rules and keeping the helmet on, and he can see this person who is wearing Mandalorian armor and doing good things, and it has nothing to do with the fact that he's following the creed or anything. Just kind of helping separate this idea that like the armor makes the Mandalorian when it should be the other way around.
Now, how do you reconcile in that cute little Star Wars head of yours about the Mandalorian creed in the Mandalorian? You know, obviously Sabine just can't wait to get her helmet off to show us. You know, I've got these Sabine. This Lizzie Perellis keeps going on that Sabine changes her look every season. I don't see it, but anyway. But how do you reconcile that? The
fact that he's wearing the armor, the helmet all the time, that we've seen every other Mandalorian in the Clone Wars take it off. I assume my headcanon has been the fact that it's a survival instinct. Like, if you can hear, my dog is right here whining at me. I think it's like a survival thing, that the Great Purge happened and there's only a few Mandalorians left, and I think they maybe just reverted back to, especially this clan, they reverted back to like, let's go to the old ways and old traditions. They see it as a matter of survival and a matter of coming together and strengthening themselves.
Okay,
so that's my headcanon.
But can I ask, when was this purge?
Hilo. It had to have been shortly after Star Wars Rebels Season 4. That's when the Mandalorians started to rise up against the Empire and their their occupation. And when they did that, the Empire just came at them with everything they had and nearly wiped all the Mandalorians out.
Okay.
So we're talking a year or two before Rogue One and A New Hope.
All right. Because then I would wonder that, like, so just like 2 years, so they've got this, they only would have had this mask on Creed for like 10 years. It just seems like, you know, hey, you were taking your mask off 11 years ago, armorer, chill out.
Right. Well, maybe the armorer is like kind of a real strict rule follower. Maybe she's been doing the whole helmet thing her whole life. Maybe it's just different sects of Mandalorians, and this one is now a larger sect because of the Great Purge. Like, I think that when we see more Mandalorians in the show, I think they're going to take their helmets off no problem and be like, what are you doing? Why are you leaving your helmet on? Like, I do think that will be something that comes up.
Yeah, because it would be, if we assume that Katie Sackhoff is in the show playing Bo-Katan, like, it would kind of, I don't know, it'd sort of be a bummer not to see her as well.
Right. Well, and like, yeah, I totally agree. I think that Bo-Katan could show up as the previous, and she should still be, I think, the leader of the Mandalorians, and be like, what are you doing? Like, this doesn't help anyone. Take your helmet off and like breathe some fresh air, man.
Now, I think I can make this come up on the screen. Yes. Oh my God, what an age! Sleep of Giants with the super chat. I admire my viewers that they would spend $2 to get this on the screen. But do you think that Bantha is actually Ahsoka? What do you reckon, Alex? Do you think Fulcrum's like way undercover on that one?
Well, that thing's clearly a puppet. So yeah, she's on the inside, like controlling it, just keeping an eye on Din. I think it's funny people talking about the woman on the boat later, Sasha Banks. They're like, is that Ahsoka? It's like only if half of her head is missing. Like, well, clearly a human woman.
I gasped when she came up on the screen and went, like, I was like, is it? And then I rang Hawes quickly because I was in a thing, but it kind of reminded me of the Palpatine reveal at Celebration, where I was just like, what? Huh? Very confusing. Now, you just put up a video on this clip. Mm-hmm. Is this this snow planet, ice planet? Is it Ilum? Give us the gist, Alex.
That's just a question that I saw pop up a lot, and it's one I had as well, so I figured there was interest in it. But I think we as Star Wars fans do tend to see a biome and immediately go for, is it Hoth? Is it Ilum? Or see a desert and be like, is it Tatooine? Which there's so many desert planets in Star Wars. There's probably a lot of ice planets as well. And but there's still just something about this that makes me want it to happen. I'm trying to temper my expectations. I'm going to assume it's a new planet that we've never seen before. But if Din is on this quest to find the Jedi, I think it would be kind of cool if he were investigating Jedi planets that are important to the Jedi. And Jon Favreau dropped some hints, or basically said that we're going to explore a little bit of the origins of the First Order. And we know Ilum becomes Starkiller Base, so like there could be a way to connect some of that stuff. Like, I don't think they would land there and see First Order stormtroopers, but they might see some people who are probably...
No, it's the debut of the First Order Ilum Trooper.
Yeah.
Hasbro's like, yeah.
Finally.
Finally, we get to make a trooper figure. I kind of am sitting on that thread of he's going around to look for, Jedi stuff, right. Jedi planets. And could that be why he's going back to Tatooine?
It could be. Like, I had someone suggest, if he's just, I imagine him running around to like cantinas and stuff and being like, anyone hear anything about sorcerers and Jedi and stuff? And someone eventually is going to be like, well, I heard the Rebellion had one. So then he might hear about Luke Skywalker. And then maybe he goes to Tatooine to try to like find Skywalker's trail or something. I don't dislike that idea. I do think it starts to get into territory where it's like, that could get messy. And I really like that the Mandalorian is kind of set aside from many stories that we already know. And I would kind of prefer to keep it that way. But it's still an intriguing idea.
Yeah, I'm like you. But then when I get dangled like a bit of Luke Skywalker interaction, I'm like, ooh, come on. What about this? Let's just go out on a total wing and a prayer on this swing for home base. But what if he's there following up the trail of Ben Kenobi and we see a set from Kenobi, one of those virtual, like it's like the same like set that they've built for that in this. And then that would sort of tie those two series like visually together so well.
I kind of believe that that's part of the reason the Mandalorian has gone to Tatooine twice now. I think that even though a lot of this is like the volume, they did build some sets, and it's like, well, if we're going to build a set, we might as well use it again in the Mandalorian and again in Kenobi.
Hey, mate, like those volume backgrounds don't just pixelate themselves, buddy. that takes a bit of time as well.
Sure.
So I have to do all that sort of gear. So I'm going with if I'm a betting man, and I'm not, but if I was, but I'm not. But if I was, I'm in a loop. I'm going with Ilum on this because it fit like the First Order, like showing a bit of the early stages of that. I'm also like, this is a good way to do it. Like I sort of don't want to see. I'm a bit First Ordered out. You know what I'm saying?
Sure, I'm the same. I also think it's a good, what do they call it, synergy. I mean, it's a good way to get people interested into like, hey, did you like that Darksaber thing? That's in the Clone Wars. So is Ilum. And Ilum is also in this Fallen Order video game. So if you like this planet, maybe check out these other things. Like,
yeah.
I could see that being kind of like a dangling thread for newer fans to the franchise to be like, let me pull on this and get deeper into some of this content.
And then we are on the Mon Cal maybe planet. We've got a plenty of Quarren. This character sort of just in front of Din with the instead of us being underwater with an air tank, they're above water with a water tank. Are they a creature that's been in Star Wars before?
Not one that I recognized. It looks a lot like Spotchka from season 1, that like soup that they make, which that could just be a coincidence. But I do like the idea of a kind of a water rebreather for an underwater creature.
Yeah. Because I remember, did you ever watch that show Farscape?
I've never seen it. I know a little bit about it.
Oh no, I don't think it was. No, it was. What was that other one?
Babylon 5.
Yes, and there was people that they breathed gas or something, and they had to stay in their gas room. Or am I making that up?
I don't know. There's more Syrians in Star Wars. They do that. They have like methane that they breathe, I think.
I should log on to Babylon 5 Explained
yeah.
and get that action. So let's assume that he gets shot by someone. Then he lands here. But is he heading there already?
It seems like if this is where he lands after being shot, it's like that might have been it's the closest planet nearby, which is basically the same setup as Tatooine in season 1.
It feels too
similar.
Yeah.
But hey, it happens. You get shot. You got to go somewhere.
Hey, we've all been there, guys. We have all been there. Hey, with the return to Tatooine, do you reckon Din might need some child minding services again? Because
I wouldn't be surprised if Pelly, is that her name? If she came back, Amy Sedaris.
I call her Strangers with Candy. That's her title. But I would she killed it. Love. And no sighting of Billy Burr in the trailer, but have you? I'm my non-Star Wars sources confirm that he's coming back.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Now, here we go. Steele gasps. He doesn't know what's happening. We've got Sasha Banks, and at the same time, they mention the Jedi sorcerers or whatever that's dropped
enemy
over.
Sorcerers.
Yeah. Now, what do you reckon? Are these guys pulling a J.J. Abrams here and are putting images next to words that are going to confuse us? Because I would love for her to be a Jedi or a Force wielder, but I kind of think she's just going to be like an agent or a bounty hunter or something.
I kind of get, I was telling Molly yesterday on our stream that I'm getting Strider vibes from her, from Fellowship of the Ring. Someone who's like in the shadows with a cloak on, keeping tabs on things, but I think she'll ultimately prove to be an ally. What I wonder, I agree, I kind of want her to be a Force user. I like the idea that as Din is investigating the Jedi, he comes across other people who believe in the Force, can use the Force, but they're not Jedi, and it's like he has to decide for himself, like, is this someone is this the child's people? Can I leave Baby Yoda with them? I don't know. I think it would be interesting to see Din learn more about the Force than just the Jedi.
Because I like when they had the what was Zeb's people called? How they could sort of they use the Force.
Right.
And, what was their nickname for it? The tickling or something?
The Ashla.
I like the tickling better.
Okay.
I thought they had another word for it. I know
Maybe.
Ashla's like the original George Lucas.
Mhm.
I thought they had another. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But interestingly, I follow wrestling news quite a bit. I don't watch wrestling much, but I'm fascinated with wrestling news. And she was in a team and she was inexplicably broken up, and everyone thought she would go to be a bad guy. But then her partner, Bailey, has gone to be a bad guy. So my theory is they did the opposite of what they should have done. So when they get this new bunch of people trying to check her out on the show, that the character's like a good guy wrestler and they can get behind her.
Okay.
I feel like a lot of people are going to check into wrestling to find out what Sasha Banks is all about. I'm just going to fix my light here, Alex. Wait there. But I also, a few people have theorized that maybe it's Sabine Wren who is identified as Asian in the Star Wars canon.
Mm-hmm.
And, some people are like, oh, well, they don't, they can change it around, whatever. But I did see someone, I'm not going to, I saw someone that would definitely know, mocking the concept that they would cast her as Sabine Wren. So that was, I didn't think it was, but when I saw that, I was like, well, that sort of, they're really putting themselves out on a limb.
Yeah.
Unless they're just so into misdirection. And the misdirection also ignores, the heritage of the character, which I don't think's happening. Where are we at? But that bears the question, is Sabine going to be in it? Like, this isn't Sabine.
No, I mean, I've heard that rumor. I've heard Ahsoka, Sabine, Rex. But I've heard the second we heard Sasha Banks was going to be in it, I heard people throwing Sabine's name around. And I was like, is this honestly just because Sasha Banks has colorful hair? Like, I don't know if that's why people were saying that, but I don't know. It makes sense for Sabine to be around Ahsoka at this point in time, if this is gonna like tie into wherever their story goes with Ezra. Which I mean, that kind of sucks if Ezra's been missing for like 9 years still. But
I just want to go. I just want to go back to this because Star Wars Daily News has just chimed in on the chat, and I've gone back for those listening to the audio on the Patreon for people that just like their ears, and it's the shot of Din crouching in behind Yoju in the snow, possibly on Ilum. That ship in the background, is that the Razor Crest, or as Star Wars Daily News is theorizing, could that be one of the ships involved with the end of the Clone Wars?
I'm comparing
where they buried all the clones and stuff.
I'm comparing markings right now, and that those orange stripes, they're on the Razor Crest. It does look like the ship has straight up crashed in the snow. So maybe that is the ice planet that they're limping towards in that first shot, and maybe they just have a really bad landing. But to me, that looks like kind of the top half of the front of the Razor Crest.
Yeah, I just assumed it was the Razor Crest. you know, I know a few Star Wars characters, but you know, crashed bits of a part of a ship, maybe not my forte. Oh, Star Wars Daily News says Razor Crest doesn't match. Razor Crest has a flat front and no guns at front.
I don't think that's true. I'm looking at it right now and I see guns on the front of it. It does have a flat front, but that's I think that we're looking at like it looks like it's buried down in snow. That's my guess. The markings to me, the guns look like the same guns. This is just my opinion, but I think that they just like slammed into some snow and crashed there.
Okay, well, Star Wars Daily News is adamant about this. So the lines have been drawn. Daily News versus Explained. Love it.
I'm not willing to die on this hill.
I don't like dying on any hill. I like just having a little tap dance and moving on. So let's just... How's... Yoju is very taken aback at someone moving away from a bunch of boxes. It's like, mate, you levitate rhinos. Chill out. Streaming October. What do you reckon that means?
I think that it's going to come out sometime in October. Ooh. Hopefully, I mean, they've been saying October for a long time. Hopefully they don't mean like at the very end of October and it's more like the beginning of October.
They wouldn't.
That'd be nice.
They wouldn't.
No, they wouldn't do that. They wouldn't wait until the very last couple days of October.
And here we go. Din Djarin. I'm on a boat.
I just like seeing a boat in Star Wars. I don't know why.
Well, it's that thing of like when we first watched it, we wanted to see things that were so, you know, amazing, space stations, walkers and all that. And now we're like, oh, space Uber. That's sick. Space boat. Yes. All right. Here we go. Here we go. This is the action. Now, listen, guys. I'm just going to be upfront. I'm like Alex normally when I'm thinking level-headed, and I'm like, I don't want it all connected. You know, like I don't need it connected with the original trilogy. It was a standalone tale. It was really good. But then when I'm dangled with a hint of possible Luke Skywalker, I'm like, I take it all back. Now, what if like one of the big surprise in the first season was Baby Yoda, Yoju, if you will. What if they're keeping under wraps an appearance from Jedi Master Luke Skywalker? Now, we've got these X-Wings on both sides of the Razor Crest. It's very hard. I don't think you get to see the wing markings on the X-Wing at all. But both me and Alex independently were like, that sure does look like R2-D2.
That's true. I did zoom in on it. I mean, oh God, I'm looking at it right now. But it just could be green instead of blue. I don't know. Like it looks like him, but I'm not someone that wants Luke Skywalker to be in this.
I don't either. But now I do. Do you know what I mean? Like the sane version of me says no Luke Skywalker. What is wrong with this light? There we go. Let's just get rid of that one. But yeah, now he's so close. He just could be in that ship just there. It makes no sense.
Yeah.
Because, you know, you'd expect him to feel that Yoju was in there. Maybe he's not. Maybe this is when he's captured. Oh, it's all coming together, Alex.
So I think Luke's off doing his own thing at this point. I don't think he's going to be part of the New Republic flying missions right now. I don't see him being anyone's wingman. I see him being like, I'm exploring the galaxy. I'm learning more about the Force, getting ready to do my Jedi Temple once I feel ready. I don't see him flying around in the New Republic. Yeah, I just I think that's going to make things too messy.
Yeah, I agree with you,
but you still want it.
but I want you to be wrong.
Uh huh.
So we've also got a shot here of the Razor Crest. There's guns right at the front, and there's a yellow stripe. Just back to the crashed ship from before. Have you got my screen up?
No, that's on you to do.
Sorry, I forgot. I didn't press that. This is a one thing. God. All right. Check that out. So you've got the gun there, and there's some yellow markings. So depending on what way it's crashed, it's sort of I'm going with the Razor Crest. That'd be my money down.
I think that's just the simpler answer for now, instead of jumping to any other conclusion. But kind of like the same way, I just think that these are just two New Republic pilots. I kind of hope it's Dave Filoni and Rick Famuyiwa again. I like Molly and I were joking about this yesterday.
Listen, Alex. Listen, nothing against Dave Filoni. Nothing. But if I'm pondering whether that's Luke Skywalker and it ends up he's in there with a hat on instead of a helmet, there's no bias. Very upsetting.
I like the idea that Dave didn't want to do it the first time and John kind of made him, and just this, like, every year John forces Dave Filoni back into a cockpit. He's like, get in there, Dave. You're going to be Trapper Wolf again.
He becomes the like the Ponda Baba X-Wing pilot, just appearing in random places. That makes no sense. So watching this back, it does seem like they are chasing him, unless they're ready to go on a mission.
I can't decide. Yeah, this feels like an escort.
Yeah, but then in this bit, it looks like a dogfight. Are they shooting?
It's like they don't shoot at all. I do wonder if it's a mission, or I kind of wonder if they're trying to, like, maybe the New Republic has caught wind of this child, and maybe they want it now, maybe to keep it safe. Like, I think they would have their own, hopefully better motivations. We don't even know what the Imperial motivations are, but I think they could be getting in the way of Din's actual mission, and it would be interesting to have him kind of. It's like another chance where he's like, I could just pawn this kid off on the New Republic and hopefully they would take care of him, but he doesn't want to do that. So it's like a little temptation for him to give the child up.
He should sell him on Space StockX. That'd get good money. That's where all the cool kids sell their Supreme. So the fact that they're not shooting, they could be on a mission. And if they're on a mission with the Razor Crest,
that'd be cool.
I'm loving it. I'm like Justin Timberlake at McDonald's. All right, here we go. This is too much to bear. And that is Din on the speeder. Why is it so blurry when it's up close, Alex?
Yeah, that's because I'm seeing people in the chat, and I've heard or seen people talk about it online as well, about Fett's. Say they see his jetpack, which I can kind of see those colors. And his helmet's on the back. I don't see the helmet.
Yeah, the helmet's sort of like on the side.
Oh, okay.
Like there. If my cursor comes up on the screen, which I think it does.
Okay, I can.
So that's where the helmet's meant to be, and I accidentally clicked it to play. And then underneath his jetpack, like Din's jetpack that he's wearing, is Boba Fett's jetpack.
I see that.
Now,
Maybe, yeah. I mean, like the colors match.
I'm going with that. I'm locking that in. That's Fett's helmet and backpack. That would also explain why the boots are different at the end of season 5, episode 5, the gunslinger.
Mm-hmm.
Because you know how like the boot, like people are like, oh, it sounds like him, but it's the boots, and that it would be a massive bummer if Boba Fett doesn't end up being in this for people that are hanging out for some Boba Fett.
I think that it would be cool to have him eventually. I'm glad he wasn't in season 1. I like this idea that they might just keep teasing him and building him up because, I mean, that could be a very fun matchup at the end of the day. Maybe 5 seasons in, it's finally Boba Fett time, and they fight because it's like Din could finally, maybe in his eyes, see himself as a Mandalorian, and he's fighting Boba Fett, who is it's still kind of up in the. George Lucas has said Boba Fett's not a Mandalorian, and I think Dave Filoni will stick with that. But he's still wearing the armor. Like, I think not only would it be cool, but it would thematically fit with the show and what it's trying to say.
What if Din, like, I know he's not a Mandalorian, but what if there's something where he's like, oh, you have to get this guy's, that's not your armor. That's like Boba Fett's armor. Like, it's not right for you to have it. And that's why Din's got it now. To return it to its rightful...
I don't know. Well, it's like, on the one hand, I don't think Din would respect Boba Fett as a Mandalorian.
Yeah, but what would be his motivation to have the helmet and the backpack?
Right.
Like, why would he want it?
I don't know. I was like, maybe he respects him as a member of the Bounty Hunters Guild. There still could be a level of respect there. Yeah, I don't know why he would have it.
Interesting. But I'm going with that. There's too many Boba Fett hints.
That doesn't seem overly far-fetched to me.
All right. Then these guys are back. Cara Dune and I'm blanking on his name.
Grief Karga.
Grief, that's it.
Dope new costume.
It is something. It is something. So then more of these fold-up TIE fighters, which not all TIE fighters can do this, can they?
No.
That's like, you know, you get like an iPhone and you're like, this is sick. This is so good. But then someone comes out with a new iPhone that's got like the wireless headphones or something. So all the other TIE fighter pilots are just like, whoa, got to get those fold-ups. You can say goodbye to your ladders, thing of the past. So that's pretty sick.
Molly and I always laugh in a rewatch of season 1. It's like Gideon lands his TIE fighter and then he comes out of the top and then it cuts away and then it cuts back to him on the ground. But I really want to know what it looked like for him to like kind of scramble off the top of the TIE fighter down onto the ground. Did he do it gracefully? How would one do that?
Well, I never understood how Luke's X-Wing ladder worked.
Oh, yeah.
So he's got a ladder that connects to the cockpit.
Yep.
But then once he climbs up it...
Where did it go?
Like, he needs someone else to move it.
What happened? What a terrible movie.
Like, how do you do that?
It's like when people were complaining about that disappearing knife in The Last Jedi, like, you should start a campaign complaining about the disappearing ladder.
Oh, dude, don't tempt me. That's I don't need that sort of time wastage. But stormtroopers. Oh, that's not necessarily a Star Destroyer corridor.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's Imperial. It could be anything. It could be a base. It could be a ship. Who knows?
I like that we're seeing some shinies, stormtroopers.
Yeah, Gideon runs a tight ship.
Yeah. And Gideon's not in this at all.
Nope. Which I was surprised by. I'm surprised they didn't show Gideon or the Darksaber. Like, they know people are clamoring to see that, but I'm glad. I'm glad that they're keeping that down.
I'm not. because I want the most people to watch this as possible. And I feel
I
like
don't think you have to worry about that.
Oh no, no. that's were you one of the producers on Solo: A Star Wars Story? Because that mistake has been made. Yeah, but the whole thing of like it can be number one, but then it can be number one with another 10 million subscribers. And the bigger influx of subscribers, it's more budget for like, you know, future stuff. So I want as many people to watch as possible. And I think people that are just clicking on this, you're going to get viewers by putting in Giancarlo Esposito from, you know, Breaking Bad, many people's favorite show. Like that's good sizzle.
Oh yeah.
Like whether he's got the Darksaber or not, but it's very odd not to include like such a draw to people that already enjoy that sort of, you know, long form like television storytelling.
Well, do you think, because I think we're going to get a second trailer. I do think if we're going to follow the model that they set up last year, I think 2 weeks before October 30th, we're going to get a second trailer. Or do you think this is it? Do you think they were like, this is all you need?
I don't think it's all they need. Like what I can't stress enough about all this with the streaming. Where's my cursor? Let's get rid of these stormtroopers for a sec. Is like this, like streaming, like HBO Max and Peacock and Netflix, Disney Plus, yada yada yada. This is the new, like this is the only growth, like revenue stream that any of these companies have got. You know, like even if The Mandalorian's number one and it has more subscribers, like Disney is down. Like they're not selling, you know, nearly as much merch. They're not, you know, their park business is like in tatters. So they really need to get as much cash out of this as possible. And also, this is the new battlefield, is that who can get a foothold and have, you know, 20, 50 years. Like this is the new network television. And whoever survives and flourishes is going to have untold billions. So I want them to go all out. And I think, like, if this is the only promo, very disappointing, very unimaginative. And,
Yeah.
you know, whether it's like featurettes on the characters and or whatever, but they've got to get that dude out there.
I definitely think we're going to get another trailer. Like this feels like, and the first Mandalorian trailer ever felt like a teaser. It was just a bunch of cool shots, didn't tell you much, just kind of hyped you up. And this did the same thing. Doesn't tell us much. I feel sufficiently hyped, but I think they're going to get a little more into story and character in 3 or 4 weeks. And then, yeah, about 4 weeks. And then 2 weeks later, it'll come out.
I always like to think of things like reasons they're not like what the theory could be. And it could just be that like you put this out, you get people in, and then all those people explode with tweets and stories and whatever about that first episode. And then that gets people to jump on and subscribe. That could be, you know, the theory if they don't put anything else out. Now, Star Wars Daily News is not letting up. Steele, I did some research on that ship. We took a look on earlier, the Orange Stripes one. It matches Ahsoka's reinforcement ship that she arrives with on Clone Wars. Oh my God. All right. I don't know if there's a way to get this image to me, if you can post a link to it or whatever, but maybe DM me on Twitter. All right. We're almost towards the end here. All right. Well, is this the snow planet?
You got to throw your screen back up.
Oh, sorry, dude.
It's all right.
I'm getting there.
No, I think that's Navarro. The same planet with Grief and Kara.
Got you.
From season 1.
And we've got established the speeder bikes are there.
And I think you can see like a little lava flow, which it's not a lava, it's not Mustafar, but it's like a volcanic rock planet of some sort.
This mono, speeder bike mono off the cliff.
Yeah.
That's some good action.
Oh, it's great. That shot took my breath away. It's very Darth Maul in episode 1. He just like drives his bike off that cliff, but now we get to follow it.
I never liked the Sith speeder. I thought it was like to actually ride, not that cool. Like I thought Dash Rendar's swoop was a cooler one. And I know the Black Douglas has told me how to make YouTube's play slower here. So I will read that and use that advice on future streams. If people have got like tips and advice, like we're just riding high on the New Frontier. Oh, how's this pause, Alex? I didn't even know I was doing this, but
It's pretty good.
That's box art right there. Very blurry box art.
That's very close to what Molly and I used for our thumbnail yesterday.
Oh, tight. Then we've got Mando drowning. That's no good. We've got him jetpacking on Navarro, it looks like.
Yeah, I think so.
So, imagine jetpack versus speeder bike chase.
That'd be fun. Yeah.
Woo! Bring it. My neighbors that are home during the day just think I've lost my mind. So I was watching your vid and we've got this guy. Oh, great shot of the graffiti.
Yeah, there you go.
How do I make that go away? Right there. Okay.
You can use your arrow keys to like ease back and forth as well.
Here we go. Good form, Alex.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to get rid of that. The YouTube bar at the top is driving me insane. How do I make that disappear? Damn it. Anyway. So you think this is the guy from the Gamorrean Guard UFC fight?
Yeah, the Abyssin, the one-eyed guy, I think his clothing matches. He's got like some gray stripes on his shoulders in both shots.
Oh my god, I can see the anti-Ponda Barber.
Yeah, right?
It's like a Ghostbusters, no smoking. Maybe that's just a disgruntled fan telling Filoni, don't put him in the show.
Yeah, we didn't like him in Rogue One.
Okay. Graffiti's cool. There's like down the bottom is like it looks like a tribute to an early C3PO Macquarie concept, and then maybe like a clone trooper in front of him. Do you see that down? Where's my
there's a bunch of different on the left side. I'm using my cursor like you can see it. On the left building, like I kind of maybe see a Mandalorian helmet too.
Oh yeah. I feel like I can see a Ninja Turtle over there as well. That's exciting. That is sick. So, do you think this is before or after the shootout?
I'm gonna go with after now. My first thought, and that's just because my simple brain was like, well, that's the order that the trailer's in, so it must be the order that the show plays out, where I'm like, okay, maybe he rescues this guy who takes him to his fighting pit, but it's all a setup, even like him being strung up. But I think it probably makes more sense that after the big fight in the fighting pit, he takes this guy and strings him up himself and then is interrogating him or something.
That sounds like some classic Din action there. Alrighty. Yeah, I sort of take it as after. All right, so this is interesting. Walking into the cave. So I don't know. This is it's these two shots that I'm just like, I reckon it's Ilum.
Yeah, same. It just feels like Ilum. The big ice wall, the cave inside, it all looks like it matches the Clone Wars and Fallen Order, in my opinion.
And they're cruising inside. And something is falling. That's not the Razor Crest, though.
I think it is when it gets, or maybe earlier there was a shot of it. I can't remember. There was a shot of at some point of the Razor Crest kind of falling into atmosphere. There you go. Yeah, I think that's the Razor Crest. So maybe it's on its way after that first shot. It makes its way to that planet, and then it just
when it crashes next to Ahsoka's ship.
Yeah.
Let's have, why not both? There you go.
It can be both.
I've healed the fandom.
It crashes into Ahsoka's ship and they become one.
And you're both right. It looks like to me, have you ever seen that cartoon Battle of the Planets?
No.
It's like a Japanese cartoon that they sort of like adapted for America. And the ship, their Phoenix ship, when it would go really fast, it would catch on fire like that. Cool. It was if they ever did a live action of that. Whew. All right. I don't even care what's happening in this scene. These Gamorreans at the GFC, the Gamorrean Fighting Championships, this is so cool. Like, this is like the part of, like, this is the dumb Star Wars fan me, just like, Gamorreans, they're back and they're doing something else. This is the best. Like, it is so dope. I love seeing this stuff peppered in. I don't know. Do you think a Gamorrean could come off the top rope?
I hope so.
It's like,
give him the elbow.
Yeah, like Macho Man Randy Savage. It's very sick. I wonder what or who might be lurking around the GFC championships that Din would be looking for. I love the idea that he's just cruising around looking for, oh my God, that was a good pause. I love they've got their Kenner weapons.
I like that they look kind of jacked. They're not just your standard big old Gamorrean.
Yeah, they're lean. They've been working out.
Uh-huh.
And you got old One Eyeball. What species is he, Alex?
Abyssin.
And first seen in the cantina?
Yes, correct.
Nice. What's their vision like, Alex, with the one eye? You've got to imagine it's limited.
I think it's just 20.
Ooh, it's not enough. A classic Mando ambush. God, they're all got... Look at all the manscaping these guys. These guys have got lovely manicured beards. We could learn so much.
I got a long way to go.
Both me and Alex are looking very rugged with our facial hair. And then we've got three goons at the wrestling that very crafted beards. Congratulations, one and all. And then he's about to shoot off the what's that called? The bird's eye or the death bird. The wasp nest.
Whistling birds.
Hey, wasp nest. That's good as.
Wasp nest is a pretty great name.
I should name this stuff. And then
someone pointed out to me, and I wish I could remember their name, but that Night Brother looks just like one from Fallen Order. Like, it just has kind of the same costume, the same weapon. I didn't catch that in my first playthrough, but I'm like, what a great connection.
What's a Night Brother?
What Darth Maul is.
Okay, got you. So, Alex, where do you stand? Luke Skywalker in The Mandalorian, teaming up with Din Djarin and Toro Calican.
You just, like, knocked it further down.
Oh.
Okay.
Dude, listen, I'll be straight up. Tell me it wouldn't be good if Toro was back. Just to see how annoyed people would be for no reason.
Well, see, at this point, I would be happy for you.
He's meant to be an annoying character. He's not meant to be Luke Skywalker.
At this point, I would be happy for you. Like that, I think my first thought if Toro Calican showed back up would be kind of like, "Aw, good for Steele."
Okay, cool. Alrighty, Alex. That was pretty damn fun. If anyone apart from Star Wars Daily News, who's posted about 87 times about that ship, has a comment or question, I will.
I hope you're right. I really do.
I'm so pumped. I'm just having this juicy bit of Star Wars.
Oh yeah, like that's I said this in my Ilum video today, but it's like we've been starving for so long. Like everything got messed up with the pandemic. Books got delayed, comics got delayed, no celebration, and then it's like they gave us 2 minutes of footage, and I feel like I'm a starving man just gorging myself on it, and I'm like, just gonna keep watching this. Yeah,
gorge on. Hey, that was super fun, Alex. And I was watching you yesterday, and I was like, I miss Alex. I miss Alex.
Miss you too, buddy.
I needed some Alex time. That's like one of the weird things about this whole deal is like I work from home anyway, but now I don't like, you know, used to be in LA every couple months and we get to do stuff, and now I've just got spare time to ham-fistedly do a live stream. And I just realized we went way over time from what we were going to do. So thanks, Alex.
I got work to do. I got to talk about Star Wars some more.
Excellent. Tell the good people where they can get onto Star Wars Explained.
Yeah, my YouTube channel is called Star Wars Explained. We cover all of the TV shows, obviously, movies, books, comics. I'm doing 2 videos on the comics that came out today, right now, and those will be out soon. But yeah, come hang out there.
What's a shocking development in one of these comics that a layperson like myself might be interested in?
Like I don't want to spoil anything from the newest one. There's just some cool connections. I think both the Darth Vader and the Star Wars comics right now are doing a great job at making the whole universe feel cohesive, like connecting the originals back to the prequels in very natural and sensible ways. It's a lot of fun.
Okay. Well, it's been an absolute delight. We are doing this every day, same time. It is midday if you're on the West Coast, 2 p.m. Central, 3 p.m. Eastern. If you're a Patreon member, you also get the audio of these every day, Monday to Friday, as well as all our other bonus content. Thanks so much for your support. I am so glad this went as well as it did. I can do it tomorrow and breathe before and after the show. So that is excellent. Thanks so much, Alex. Thanks everyone in the chat. I really appreciate it. Please, if you see this on Facebook or Twitter or whatever, give it a retweet, give it a share, give it a like. Help spread the word. Let's build up a bit of a thing for this, and then I can just do it forever as I go crazy alone in my house during the day. Thank you guys so much, and may that you. The last bit. Unbelievable. How come that won't play? It didn't end. It's ending.